Hello, Scott Soretta. We are continuing on with part 2 of the Aqua Illumination Profilux Controller marriage. This is a tutorial and a review. Okay, so we just described the equipment of the Artsy Cube system. Objective number 2 of the tutorial is the Aqua Illumination limitations. So the major limitation with the AI system is the standard controller itself. The LED technology is far advanced. There's all kinds of things that this light does. But the standard controller that comes with it basically does a sunrise, a sunset, and lunar capabilities. It doesn't allow full control, take full advantage of what LED technology does. And it really is a shortcoming of that entire system. Some of the things that you can do, in fact, I remember back in 2001 or 2002, I owned ice cap ballast with the old VHO lamps, and I had a dimmer. In fact, that Solar 1000 I think cost as much as the Profilux costs today, so we've really made some leaps and bounds in technology. But I could get the same type of effect that I get with this LED system now. My Solar 1000 and the VHOs, it created a little bit of noise. The LED is totally silent, which is great. But I could dim, I could do a sunrise, I can come on, and then I can do a sunset, and I could add some lunar capability. Back then it just had a lunar where it was an on-off switch, and I had a blue incandescent bulb that provided lunar. But I had all that. So when you pay the kind of money you're paying today for an LED type of system, you should get more than just the standard type of a dimming system that's currently available on the market. And hence, that's where the Profilux really comes in. You have the capability of doing a lot more. You can have clouds come over your tank. You can have thunderstorms. You can have rainy days. You can do all this myriad of things that you can't possibly do with any other technology on the market. And that's really the sole purpose of this tutorial, is to show that the Aqua Illumination LED system combined with the Profilux controller really gives you that cutting edge technology that makes you go, wow. Every day my reef is different. All right, so now moving on to objective number 3 and 4. What I'm going to do here is talk about the advanced Profilux controller. I'm going to show you the screens, and we're going to go back and forth between the two, looking at the tank and the effects you get on the tank, and then looking at the Profilux controller and some of the functions it has. So let's take a look at the screen now. So what we're looking at here is the general screen. And on the general screen, it's basically your clock. So today, right now, it's oh gosh, the date is wrong. Oh, no, it's European. Hey, it's backwards. It's the 2nd of July, 2009. So, and it's 12:30 p.m. You can also set a location, longitude, and latitude. And for the alarm, you can select if you want to have a buzzer come on with the alarm, and I choose to have it off. You can also have key sounds, which I selected, and that's when you touch the buttons. You get a little key sound that comes with it. All right, we're going to take a look at the brains of the operation, the whole reason why we're doing this. We're going to take a look at the illumination phase here. And with the illumination, you can do multiple, up to 8 different lighting systems you can hook up to this controller. The Aqua Illumination has 2 types of LEDs, white LEDs and blue LEDs. There are an arrangement of arrays, I will call it. There's 3 LEDs per array, and there's 2 whites and 1 blue. So predominantly you get a lot of white LED. In fact, the white LEDs are what give most of the power, but the blue LEDs are what gives most of that beautiful color. And like my friend likes to call me, I'm a blue freak. So I predominantly like a blue color in my tank. And when I used to view this tank before I had the Profilux and I had it come on during the day, the settings I used was blue 100% and white at 25%. And when I did the PAR evaluations, in fact, the PAR values with that 25 white, 100 blue was equivalent to a 150 watt HQI Phoenix 14K lamp on a Solana orb system at, I think that was 14 or 15 above inches above the water level, and the Aqua Illumination is about 8 inches above the water level. But you can see part of the reason why I lowered it, because the Solana orb, the bottom of the orb would be here, but the lamp itself wasn't here, and plus it took up a lot more space. This is much more smaller and compact. So equivalently, 8 inches is about where the bottom of that orb would be. It was about right where you see the Aqua Illumination is, and then it just rounded up. Okay, so back to the controller here. The major advantage in what you get to do, instead of just having a sunrise and sunset, you can program multiple times when your lights come on and different levels. So instead of just having a couple basic settings, the Profilux allows you, I think it can do 10 to 15 different times. So for example, we're looking at the white LED, which is connected to channel 1, illumination 1. The blue LEDs are connected to illumination 2, channel 2. So I'm using 7 program times here, and this graph actually shows you basically what your lighting scheme looks like. So in the morning at 8 a.m. my white lights come on, and at about 8:30 they reach 25%, and then they hold until 9. And then gradually from 9 o'clock until noon, which is the hottest part of the day typically, you reach 100% white. And then you fade back off as the day and nature occurs, and then around 4 o'clock you're back to 25%, and then you get the sunset where it rapidly declines from 25% down to off again. So that is something that you cannot find in the standard AI controller. It's only available on the Profilux. And this really simulates what nature is about. And this is something you never saw in the aquarium hobby before, is this type of technology. Other lights use sunrise on, and then you reach full power at 9 o'clock in the morning or whenever you turn your lights on, and then it stays that way all day, and there's no change to that. You may get a little shimmer if you have some metal halide and some water flow rippling the surface, but that's all you get. With this system, you get constant changes all the time. You can actually have that beautiful color during sunrise and sunset, but then hey, what about your corals? You need that strong growth, right? And you need lots of light. So you can ramp that up with the LED and get your growth around that 11 to noon o'clock time. And then gradually it dims back down, you get that beautiful color coming back towards the end of the workday. And I have this here at my office. That's where this tank is located. Okay, so that's a summary of the white LEDs. On illumination number 2, this is the blue LEDs. So as you can see here, I run about 7% all the time through the night, and that's the lunar phase. So only my blue lamps are operating in lunar. I had it where I had whites and blues, but the whites were too bright. I didn't like it, so I just run blue LED at night. And then at 7 a.m., I'm going to ramp on, so I have a nice sunset starting at 7 a.m. until 8 o'clock. And then I reach 100% blue at 8 o'clock, and I stay that way through the entire photo period until 4 p.m. And then I rapidly come down till 4:30. And then as the white LEDs are off at this time, you get this prolonged blue at a higher intensity from 20% down to 7%, and then you go back into night mode. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. Over here on the left, we're gonna see simulation. So we're gonna go to simulation here, and this is one of the surprises of the unit. When I first got this, one thing that I never really looked at was this thing called cloud probability. I didn't really know what that meant, and I overlooked it. But it has become my favorite feature of the Profilux. The cloud probability, and you can see I have it set here at 60%. That means 60% of the time your reef is going to be experiencing some sort of cloud cover. So clouds are going to go over the tank, and you're going to get this dimming effect of your lights. And what's the max darkening? I have it set at 40%. So at that time of the day, let's say it's noontime when my whites are at 100%, well, I'm going to get 40% diminish if a cloud passes over, up to that. And you can set the time variability from 3 seconds to 45 seconds, determines how long that cloud will stay there. Okay, we're going to end this session. Come back for part 3.